Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Following the budget padding scandal in the National Assembly, especially in the Senate, for which the man who raised the allegation, Senator Abdul Ningi, had been suspended for 3 months by the Senate. There had been calls for the Senate President Godswill Akpabio to step aside, to resign. Among those calling for that include the People's Democratic Party, the Conference of Nigerian Political Parties, CNPP, and several other groups and organizations. That is basically, and the reason for calling for that is because they felt that the Senate is, under the leadership of Akpabio, is suppressing information about the real thing that happened in terms of that budget padding. Don't forget, Senator Ningi is alleging that there were 3.7 trillion naira addition in the budget, which the Senate leadership is yet to give them satisfactory answer to. As a result of that, he raised a lot of alarm. But before that, his matter should be adequately dealt with by the Senate. What the Senate was more concerned about was to discipline him for having the temerity to go to the BBC House of Service to go and raise the alarm about the budget padding. Now, as the call for Akpabio to step aside keep on increasing on a daily basis, Akpabio and those who support him are on the defensive. And they are also alleging that there are plots to impeach Akpabio. In fact, at the plenary session, when King Ningi was suspended, the Senate leader, Michael Opoyemi Bamidele, who is the Senate leader, was so livid with anger, over this, over Ningi, accusing Ningi of being among the larger plots to impeach Akpabio. That if Akpabio, that their target was to impeach Akpabio before the 13th of June, so that he doesn't stay up to 1 year in office. That was one of the allegations that he made on the floor of the House. And it was literally saying that the budget padding allegation was a smoke screen to go after Akpabio. But that is not what many Nigerians think about. Because if you look at opinion of Nigerians, they are talking about that the Senate is here to give satisfactory explanation on the budget padding. Now, following this, the allegation that Akpabio is under threat of impeachment, there's a group known as South-South Rebirth. They have gone on overdrive to say that nothing should happen to Akpabio. And it is that their statement that was given by Prince Kasim Afebua, who is the convener of the South-South Rebirth. Some of the things he said really it took me aback, because he was literally making threats. He was threatening those who want to impeach Akpabio, because if you want to impeach Akpabio, it must be for a reason. It means that those people believe that he is implicated in the budget padding or whatever allegation. But this man don't want, this group don't want to hear that. They were threatening the nation that if anything happens to Akpabio in that seat, that there will be problem. And I find it very amusing, but it's also disturbing because it shows how the country has deteriorated to the level whereby for you to get anything now in Nigeria, you must threaten the state to make your point. Now look at what the group said. Let us look at some of the things they said, then we come back and deal with it, and then let it be known why we think that Akpabio could be impeached and heaven will not fall, as they are threatened that heaven will fall. The group, the South-South Rebirth, as stated by their convener, Prince Kashim Afebua, he said the incessant calls for the impeachment of the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, at every prompting has become worrisome. Hence the need to sound this note of warning. This, in the build-up to the Senator Akpabio's aspiration for the number 3 position, we of the South-South extraction made it abundantly clear that it was the turn of the treasure base of the nation, the South-South zone, to produce a Senate President. We didn't mince words. We didn't mince our words, even when Senator Yari tried to alter the apple cart by throwing spanners in the works. Our position has not changed, and we need to make the point very lucid, unambiguous, and crystal clear that any attempt for any senator from any zone to moot the idea of impeachment of Senator Godswill Akpabio will lead to serious chaos, strong resistance, and unimaginable fallout that will shock the proponents of such dubious cause. It is the turn of the South-South geopolitical zone to test the Senate presidency at this time, and any attempt to deploy conspiracy and subterranean plots to undermine our representation shall be strongly resisted. We have had Senator David Mark served 2 terms as Senate President from the North Central Zone. Heaven did not fall, nor were there impeachment threats. We have had Senator Ahmed Lawan serve his own terms too as Senate President, and with all his imperfections, we didn't hear of impeachment threats. We have had Senator Bukola Saraki served his own term too without any threat of impeachment, even when we were witnesses to the high wire politics that brought him in the first place. He completed his term without red herring. Why has it become almost a recurring decimal that at each turn Senator Akpabio is being hounded by agents of darkness masquerading as senators of the hallowed chambers and threatening impeachment? Let it be noted very instructively that Senator Godswill Akpabio will serve out his term of 4 years as Senate President without any let or hindrance. Whoever that has any interest for Senate President must wait for the South-South to complete her term before showing such interest. We will resist any attempt to try to supplant our opportunity as treasure base of the nation for any conspiracy to unseat the Senate President. We wish to appeal to those who are fond of dishing out these threats to be mindful of Nigeria's delicate balance and intricate logic so as not to provoke a political crisis that may snowball into another kettle of fish for the country. We of the South-South will not sit by and watch any attempt by anyone to undermine our opportunity as South-South indigents, as represented by distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, using impeachment as a veiled threat. We say enough is enough. Nobody has monopoly of violence, and for those who understand our recent history, it is better accentuated to maintain peace in the Niger Delta than try to poke finger on trouble before our very eyes. That won't augur well for this democracy in all its ramifications. A word is enough for the wise. Let Akpabio be. Prince Kashim Afebwa, Convener, South-South Rebirth. Now, what is clear from what we have seen in this South-South Rebirth group is that Akpabio should be untouchable. Nobody should ask Akpabio any questions. Even when Senator Jaribe talked about the fact that some senators collected 500 million, while others collected 200 million, and Akpabio is alleged to have gotten about 2-point-something billion to buy fridge and freezers in his constituency, and it's alleged that he also got another 20 billion for his constituency alone. Those amounts are even larger than budgets of several ministries alone. If you look at the Students' Loan Board or loan fund, the Students' Loan Scheme that government is talking about, it was 5 billion that was budgeted for that. But Akpabio, his constituency alone, got 20 billion. That didn't bother this South-South Rebirth. All they are talking about is that it is their turn. Nobody should investigate the fact or the allegation by Ningi that 3.7 trillion extra was added to the budget, which in a sane society deserve investigation. And whoever is found culpable will have to pay a price for that. But as far as this South-South Rebirth group are concerned, it is that nothing should happen to Akpabio because it is the turn of the South-South. In any case, who said that if they remove Akpabio that they are going to bring in a Senate President from another zone? We have seen it happen before. During Obasanjo's era, when Senate presidency was zoned to the southeast, even when Evan Ewenem was removed, he was replaced by Okadibo. Okadibo was removed. You have Anyim Pius Anyim. You have until you get to Namani. They reserve the position for the southeast. So if Akpabio is found culpable and he is removed, there is a likelihood that if Akpabio is impeached, they are going, since APC has zoned the position, or so it seems, to the south, somebody from the south who is a senator there will take the place of Akpabio as Senate President. So it's not a new thing. It's not rocket science to unravel. So I don't see the reason why Kashim Afebwa are issuing threats to the nation, telling the nation that there will be problem, there will be crisis, there will be chaos if Akpabio is removed. If Akpabio is removed, there will be no chaos, there will be no crisis. Nigeria have seen these kind of threats before. We have seen it before. I remember ahead of the 2015 election, Asari Dokubo was threatening that if Jonathan is not returned, there will be crisis in the country. All hell will be let loose. But those who conspired to remove Jonathan include Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Today, the same Asare Dokubo is hobnobbing with Tinubu. He is probably one of the loudest supporters of Tinubu. But it was Tinubu that instigated the removal of Asare Dokubo's brother, South-South brother, from the presidency. But he was threatening ahead of the election that there will be crisis, there will be problem, there will be trouble in the land if Jonathan is not returned, is not given second term. Niger Delta will do this, they will do that. It's high time they stop all this stress. And that is why everybody in this country now believe that for you to get anything, you must put yourself in a position where you can threaten others. And he was saying there that nobody has monopoly of violence. Those who want to remove Akpabio, did they say they want to remove him violently? Has there been any threat to remove Akpabio from Senate presidency violently? Say that nobody has a monopoly of violence. Come on. If they want to remove him, what I have heard is that he should step down because of the allegation by Ningi. And then there is the issue of impeachment. It was Michael Bamidele, the Senate leader, that also brought that up, that there are plots to impeach the man. So impeachment is not a violent process. All it takes is for enough senators to say that they can. All it takes is for enough senators to say they don't want to be under the leadership of Akpabio. So the removing Akpabio from office is not a violent process. It's a democratic process. Impeachment is a democratic process. The Constitution recognizes the right of senators to impeach the Senate President, because that's the only difference between the Senate President is that he has been elected by his colleagues to preside over the affairs. That's why they say the Senate President is first among equal. They are all equal. They are all equal. So if the senators felt strongly that he should no longer be the Senate President, they have a right to sack him and remove him and put another in his place. Like I said earlier, the position appears to have been zoned to South-South. So if Akpabio is removed, it means a South-South person will take over. However, if the Senate in its wisdom felt that some other person from another zone should be given the position, it will happen, and heaven will not fall. And if heaven falls, there will be enough men to hold it. So those who are threatening the country because of Akpabio, they better think again. Akpabio is not even worth such kind of threat. Because, come to think of it, Akpabio represents some of the things we complain about in this country. This is a person who did not participate in the primaries, senatorial primaries, but he's in the Senate today. Himself and Ahmed Lawan, former Senate President, they did not participate in their constituencies' primaries, senatorial primaries. They did not. But through the court, they wangled their way back. Both of them, Ahmed Lawan and Akpabio, they contested for the presidential ticket of APC alongside Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When they lost out, they miraculously, calling it a miracle be an abuse of that miracle, because miracle is a genuine religious and spiritual process. They magically emerged as senatorial candidate and even became winners of election. That was why at the when the Ninth Senate was doing their last outing, Senator, former governor of Imo State, former governor of Rocha Sokorocha, was asking Amalawa, say, how did you do it? How did you manage to return back to the Senate? That what you did, we need to learn from it. You have to teach us how to do it. That all of us contested for the presidential ticket of APC, only for you to now emerge to return as a senator. You better tell us how you were able to maneuver your way and come back. The video is everywhere, where Rocha Sokrata were taking a jab at Ahmad Lawan because of that unfortunate incident, which was held by Nigeria's judiciary. Because the law was very clear, the Electoral Act was very clear. You cannot contest two primaries. You contested for presidential ticket, you didn't get, then you rush and get the ticket of the Senate. It's not allowed. Even the Electoral Act frowned at it. But Akpabio was a beneficiary of that abnormality. So even if you are looking for somebody to become the Senate President from South-South, is Akpabio the best candidate for that? Akpabio, with all the allegations against him at the NDDC and Niger Delta Ministry and all that. So all kinds of allegations were being thrown around the man. That was enough to show that, look, if this position is to go to the South-South, let's get somebody else to give that position. So it's not as if Akpabio holding that position is of any benefit to the South-South people. Yes, that is 20 billion that for his constituency. How does that benefit the people of South-South? How does that benefit the people of South-South? People are just throwing up all these kind of ethnic and zonal and tribal sentiments when it suits them. So I think Kasim Afebua and his group, the South-South Rebirth, they got it wrong in threatening the nation because of Akpabio. Akpabio doesn't want threatening this nation for his position as Senate President. That is the truth. And in any case, nobody has the right to be threatening this country because of position. We are a country of 200 million and more. So there's virtually no position anybody is occupying right now that there are no enough Nigerians that can occupy that position. So the Senate President can be removed and somebody will occupy it effectively too. Even Bola Ahmed Tinubu could be impeached and somebody will take his position and the nation will move on. So it's not, people should not be threatening people in a democratic process because Akpabio was being called to question, being called to order. And there are those who are suggesting he should be impeached if he cannot account for how he is managing the National Assembly. He has to defend himself. If he cannot defend himself effectively, he should be impeached if that is the resolve of his colleagues. As I said earlier on, senators are equal. They are all equal. He is only first among equals. So his colleagues can decide to remove him and replace him with whoever they want. And heaven will not fall. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you and God bless you and yours.